Welcome back, everyone, to the FTI Podcast, episode 4. We're going to try to make this as interesting as we can because definitely yesterday wasn't interesting at all. So I'm Kyle.
I'm Chris.
This is Chris.
Yeah, and that was just another mediocre NASCAR race. I mean, you tend to get that with 36 races a year. Yeah, they all can't be winners.
Does this noise sound familiar to you? Woo! Because I swear to God, if I have to hear Danica Patrick go, woo, one more time during a broadcast, which was literally every restart, it was like, woo! It's like, it's not that exciting. You don't have to try.
Not a fan again of Danica, this rotating cast. I don't know even who's doing it this week. Yeah, it was that. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, because Tony wasn't going to be doing it last weekend because it was the NHRA open or their opener for the season.
Yeah,
and since he's a drag racer now, I'm honestly surprised that Tony Stewart doesn't have an IndyCar team yet.
I think he's too wrapped up in the his Stewart Haas team that probably doesn't have the time or money, and running his team, his NHRA team. I don't know if he's got the time or money to spread himself. I think he even has a dirt team too.
My goodness! And then doesn't he own SRX as well?
Yes.
My goodness.
At least part owner and full-time racer in SRX,
and owns a racetrack, which I'm sure he doesn't do anything with personally with Eldora, but
yeah, I mean, guy just never stops.
I guess he loves racing, so it's an understatement, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find anything on who's broadcasting this week.
I gotta tell you, Phenix is probably the dumbest looking racetrack I've ever seen. Who the hell? Like, people give crap all the time about the Herman Tilke F1 circuits, but what the hell was that? They're like, we want to make an oval, but not really.
And they really love those dog legs,
and it's not really even a D shaped. It's like a smush.
Yeah, I mean, and we can get into the race yesterday about the only exciting thing in the race were the restarts going 5 wide through turn 1.
I was like, what the hell am I watching? And they're just like zooming all over the place. And it reminded me, I think Darlington is another track where they go crazy on the aprons, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Coming out of like turn 4.
Yeah.
Because it's like that weird little like egg shape track. And I was like, what the? I don't like these tracks where they're just running on the apron all the time. It freaks me out. It freaks me out like when you're watching the Indy 500 and they're like zooming, like they're doing like this weird serpentine down the front stretch.
Yeah.
And like, I swear, like Pato O'Ward almost hit the freaking wall, the infield wall last year. But it's like, who? What the hell?
It leads to exciting restarts, but I mean,
that was sketchy.
That was about it yesterday.
Your dogs join all the time. I forgot to shut the door, so I have a moose just wandering about.
Mine are just sitting on the floor there. But yeah, I mean, I can't say boring. It was an okay race. Hendrick, just whatever they've hit on this year, they've hit on. And it's really showing that a lot of these teams have some catching up to do.
It seems like Hendrick does really well at the shorter tracks, or is that just something that's happening this year?
Uh, this year we're almost getting back to previous years where you'll have one or two teams that'll just dominate, especially early in the season. No one's gotten quite into the routine of things yet. So with this West Coast swing, you're only a couple days at home. You're bringing a car from the East Coast before you're even done with the race before and taking it straight to the track. So it's Hendrick being one of the super teams and doing what they do best, and it's, you know, the other teams having to play catch up. You know, the only car that gave any challenge to William Byron and Kyle Larson yesterday was Kevin Harvick. And on that long run, he was patient, ran him down, and he should have had that win. You know, I'm a Harvick fan. Watching it, you want to say Mickey Mouse caution, same with last week, that gave William Byron the win over Kyle Larson. But, I mean, both of them were pretty justifiable cautions. You know, if I was in the booth last week with Almirola spinning and this week Harrison Burton spinning, Harrison was throwing car pieces and tires all over the track. And Almirola last week was almost completely around. So I saw some stuff on Twitter last night of, you know, oh, Mickey Mouse caution. They just want to make it, you know, more exciting, this or that. And when I look at it, I think they were both pretty justifiable cautions.
Yeah, I mean, I've not to the extent of NASCAR, but I've worked in, you know, control towers at racetracks, and you know, you'll have those situations where it's like, yep, they're a little too far around that, you know, if we don't throw the caution, you know, you're gonna hear it either way.
Yeah, I mean, last week, if Almirola doesn't stop himself onto the wall or correct himself with the wall, he's coming back down the track. And this week, the broadcast was a little iffy on whether he had thrown debris, but I mean, when they went to that camera shot of him going down the front or back stretch with that shredded tire, it was only a matter of time before he was throwing debris.
It was just freaking shredded.
Yeah.
And then what? It was at the 500, the Daytona 500. What, didn't a tire just shred itself onto the racetrack?
Yeah, I mean, you missed it last year with the new car, new wheels and tires. It was a lot of these first couple races were just constant tire blowouts. And this year, it almost seems like Goodyear is bringing too good of a tire. You know, we can get into that with that final pit stop yesterday. On the broadcast, they asked Mike Joy, you taking two tires here, or are you staying out? And he had made a comment about you won't have a job on Monday, and everyone took that as you need to take four tires. And I mean, we see the good it did Kevin Harvick taking four tires because it lost him the race. Not taking two lost him the race. Now, I do think he got mired up in some traffic with Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin, but he was making his way through and just nowhere to go. Everyone on two tires with less grip than him, but it was still 55 laps, I think, on those tires yesterday. So they replaced right side, so left side tires have 55 laps on them, and you don't want to see tire blowouts and stuff, but it's almost back to the old car where the tires were so good that you didn't have to worry about them.
Yeah, compared to, IndyCar's race, 2 weekends ago, where, there was a pretty good cutoff point on the DEG on the alternate tire, and then we're having, these NASCAR tires that are just.
No, they slow down quite a bit. I mean, you're probably losing a second or two during the run. I didn't notice any stats yesterday, but yeah, they're kind of holding up to the fact that you can, in these overtimes or close to overtimes, whatever, last minute cautions, they're taking two tires and staying up there. Harvick really didn't have much for him yesterday. Trying to think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't have anything, but we're really entertaining for you folks. I did see that. I'm not sure who the main commentator is. Is it Mike Joy? Is he the main guy?
Yeah.
Now, he did call out keyboard warriors yesterday about the last full page commercial, and so at least they're getting the joke a little
it just
bit.
Kind of goes back to what we said with the Danica thing, where the broadcast is just kind of awkward.
Yeah, at least they didn't cut over her this week. They let her talk.
Yeah,
the woman was allowed to speak.
It is one of those. It just, I don't know. Yesterday, I was I think I was making dinner or something during part of the race, and I threw on MRN on my phone. I was listening on MRN, and the MRN broadcast is just light and day better than the Fox broadcast. Now,
it definitely is.
I know they have to paint a picture visual, audibly for you to visualize. So they have to, they're always talking. They're always this, they're always that. But it's not any of this. There was just weird, awkward silences yesterday and the last couple races. And they're talking over each other, and it feels unprofessional. It doesn't feel like a $1 billion broadcast company commentating on this race.
Yeah, and you have, the other American racing series that does a beautiful job of chemistry between, the three commentators, and, there's no awkwardness in their broadcast.
Yeah, I've preferred the NBC broadcast over the Fox broadcast for years now, but yeah, it's only getting worse. I thought Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer was kind of an awkward pairing in the booth with Larry Mack and Mike Joy, but man, hopefully next year with Harvick retiring from full-time racing and moving to the booth, it can be a little smoother.
Now, when do we get to see NBC?
NBC is the second half of the season. So
okay.
June or July is when we start to get the NBC coverage. And then you don't get your Danica thing, you get the Dale Jr. They're wrecking.
Oh goodness, they have Dale Jr. on there.
Yeah. I love Dale Jr. I am a complete believer that he is redneck Jesus. The things he's done with North Wilkesboro, buying the Cars Tour this year. I'm really excited to see what they can do with the Cars Tour. I missed the broadcast this Saturday on Flow Racing because it started at it must have started early because I turned it on at 5 or 6 o'clock when I got home from work, and they were wrapping up. I think I caught the Victory Lane speech and Flow went off the air, so I missed that. But yeah, I can't wait for Dale to somehow, some way, hopefully get a charter to run a Cup Series team. He's done an amazing job with his Xfinity team. This year, they're off to a little rough of a start, but
Not giving an Earnhardt a charter in NASCAR is kind of like screwing over Andretti to not giving them an F1.
Yeah,
team.
I mean, and that's
like, two synonymous names in their respective sports, and it's like, just give the man a damn charter.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels embarrassing, that he can't get into the top series because of how expensive these charters have become over the last few years. I think now from what I've heard around, it's about, they're estimating $30 million for a charter right now.
Holy moly.
Plus, a few mil in sponsors that you're going to need just to race every week. You're probably looking at 30 million for the charter and 5 million on top of that to run a competitive car for a season. I saw last night on Twitter a couple guys talking about just running a somewhat competitive Xfinity car is 1 to 1.5 mil a year just in Xfinity. And they're not doing the payouts for that one. And since we'll have much to talk about with the race yesterday, we can just kind of go on and ramble here a little bit. I think that's one of the problems with some of the NASCAR stuff is there's just not the money in it for smaller teams. You can just break even most of the time. You're happy to break even. One of the things last year I saw is NASCAR moving the Mid-Ohio Xfinity race out to Portland Speedway, Portland International, whatever. It costs the team $30,000 to get there and back.
Just bring them to Mid-Ohio. We'll take them. Run them with the trucks.
It's the same promoters on both events.
And ARCA. God bless it, Green Savory.
Yeah, they
Nobody
promote
wants
there
Portland.
too. It's really funny. And as Mid-Ohio fans, we can kind of say the track isn't in the greatest condition sometimes.
No.
But Portland on TV last year looked way worse.
Now, is that a road course or is that an oval?
It's a road course.
Okay.
I don't think it looked any. I mean, Mid-Ohio looks great on TV.
Yeah, it really does. It's beautiful. The grass is really lush and green and
thick,
very lush.
You should have saw it for IMSA last year. IMSA, there were areas it was knee high, but in their defense, their races in May, and it had just rained. Like, I want to say the whole week up into the event, it had rained. So there was, some of those hills, there was no getting anything up and down them to try and mow that.
Yeah, but there's no excuse in the campgrounds.
Hey,
I swear I'm taking a push mower this year.
Well, the guy I told you guys last year, the guy that I camped next to at IMSA had a weed eater. He brings a battery-powered weed eater so he can clear the spot for his tent.
I'm bringing a lawnmower. That's how I'm gonna, pay for those exorbitant camping fees. Is I'm just gonna offer $10 on mow your campsite.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, hopefully it won't be so wet and nasty this year. Lawn, grass knee deep in spots. So, but yeah, pretty boring race this week. Not a whole lot.
At least we have this week, which we thought I kept looking this weekend, and I was like, Oh, Sebring's not this week.
Yeah, I had to work again this Saturday morning, and I can tell you why we both thought it was this past weekend. It's because Mark and Jamie, at least Mark, I
Yeah.
don't know about Jamie, were posting videos from it all week.
Yeah, but he was there for WEC testing.
Yeah, they were there for testing and everything.
Which is this going to be one of the races that WEC and
Yes.
IMSA combine? So that
Yes.
should be interesting to see how the GTP cars go against the Le Mans hypercars.
Yes.
Since this is going to be our first
yeah, they should be together this weekend. Yeah, it's WEC Le Mans. Let's make sure so we don't do what we did last week.
Yeah.
WEC Sebring. Yeah, it's this weekend. 6 days away. I just saw in the little Google thing 11 hypercars in this from 7 manufacturers. So
wow.
yeah, you got both of them down in Florida again.
We'll see how those Acuras do this time.
I don't know if they're going to have much for the Toyotas.
Well, doesn't Meyershank have a penalty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's something we can talk about. Meyershank in their tire pressure data issues.
Stupid things.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this was something I wanted to bring up last week when we were talking about the F1 race and some of the different technology making racing a little easier and both harder at the same time.
Yeah. A little neurotic.
Yeah, you was it F1 with tire wear sensors or something on the tires? They had said something in the broadcast about it. And where's the fun in, knowing all of that? Where, you're not like, hey, what are my tires looking? What do your tires feel like? They've taken that guesswork out of it.
I mean, F1's also the series that has, like 20 engineers back at their home bases.
Yeah.
Live monitoring what the car is doing.
Every little thing. Yeah. And yeah, I understand the technology. We get all of our road car technology from racing for the most part. But yeah, losing major points for tire inflation data.
Inflategate.
Yeah, it wasn't even good cheating. It was just tire pressures. But yeah, it'll be exciting to see this week how the American teams hold up to the European teams.
Yeah, it'll be our first little snapshot shot to see how, the 24-hour Le Mans is this year.
Hopefully, after this, lost my train of thought there. But hopefully this Saturday I don't work like I've had to the last 2 Saturdays, so I can watch some of
that'd
this.
Be nice. I have a gymnastics tournament that I have to go to. So, I had a gymnastics competition during the 24 hours of Daytona. So it's like, come on.
Yeah.
You guys scheduling these for these endurance races.
Yeah, so what this weekend we have Sebring, F1 and then NASCAR?
Yeah.
Where's F1 this week?
Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
Those aren't fireworks, folks. Because literally last year there was an explosion about a mile away.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was like like an oil refinery and Aramco. So the company that sponsors F1
and then
had one of their refineries blown up.
NASCAR I forgot that one too.
Atlanta.
Oh, it's going to be another super speedway-ish type of race. So
yay.
Expect a lot of drafting and pushing.
And we actually have all 3 series again together. And then they're all three together again at the next one, which I think is Coda.
Yes, Coda. Oh, we could talk about the new entries into the Coda race so far.
Yeah. Speaking F1, Jensen Button. I guess he needs to get some practice in a cup car if he's going to be racing it at Le Mans.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad idea there to get a little experience in these cars. Mike Rockenfeller too is doing, I think he's doing Coda, and he's also in the Garage 56 entry. Staying in the F1 ranking, Kimmy is back for another.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he with Trackhouse again?
Yes, he's gonna do the project.
Oh, yes, the Iceman is back.
And then
I hope he does better than he did at what was it, the Roval?
Watkins Glen.
Okay.
I mean, he did fairly well in that race until wrecking out not on his own accord there. And
Didn't somebody race at the Roval? Wasn't it? They had a special edition. Somebody was
Connor Daly, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe, yeah. That does sound familiar.
Yeah, so and I want to say Connor is also racing at
Coda?
Coda.
Oh my goodness. Well, he doesn't have anything else to do.
Yeah, I mean,
since IndyCar's not running again until April. But this should be interesting. I mean, Kimmy has a lot of experience running Coda, albeit in a completely different type of car.
Yeah.
He'll be a little happy that he doesn't have to worry about track limits.
Oh yeah,
NASCAR just runs wherever the hell they want on Coda. It drives me insane.
It's fun that way.
They're just, what are the yellow lines? What are the white lines? They don't mean anything.
Another one just announced this morning. Jim Jam racing at Coda 2 in the Legacy Motorsports.
Oh goodness.
Entry. So I mean,
why would he do that to himself? He's not strong on road courses. We've seen it firsthand.
Just more practice for Le Mans.
God, yeah, he is on the Le Mans. Why would they pick Jimmy Johnson for Le Mans? Like, come on, no,
because it's
such a bad decision.
Exhibition car, and you put old 7-time in there, and
I mean, who are they even competing against?
No one.
Like, because there's nothing.
Yeah, this is always just like an experimental class, the Garage 56.
So they're just trying to get like an overall position somewhere.
Not even that. It's more or less just a kind of a test bed. Yeah, more or less a test bed for endurance racing, or I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the Nissan, it was a trike. It was like a 3-wheel car.
Nissan Garage 56. Oh, that's interesting looking.
Yeah. That
what the hell is that?
Yeah, that was a Garage 56 entry.
Leave it to Nissan.
That went on, and I want to say it did pretty well. And that was their attempt at the future of prototype cars.
I think it is funny, though, that why the heck didn't they just put a Camaro in? Just a real Camaro. It probably would have been better than the NASCAR.
Yeah.
Just make it look like it's a NASCAR. Let's put a Camaro.
Cool. Chevy's got
Camaros, right? Is the buy style?
Yeah. Chevy's got the Corvette there. They can't compete with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because last year, Mid-Ohio, the IMSA race, we didn't get the GTD Pro because all of their stuff was being shipped over to Le Mans. And So we didn't get the Corvettes and some of them last year at IMSA Mid-Ohio.
Because isn't Le Mans close to Memorial Day here in the U.S.?
Sometime around then. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Because I thought it was close to around the time of, because it's part of like the Triple Crown, I think. No, it's wrong. June 10th.
June,
through the
okay.
11th. Yeah.
So it's the next 2 weeks
close,
ish.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can run the 500 and then go run that.
Yeah. Oh,
Which
yeah.
I wonder if is IndyCar off that weekend?
I don't know. Probably with their long breaks in schedule.
Yeah, because I mean, I wonder if Grosjean is running with Lamborghini.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because he ran the 24, the Daytona 24. With
now, would you have Castro Neves?
They are off.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think Castro Neves and Pagano are running.
Yeah, I don't think
24
Meyer
hour.
Shank.
I think it's just Blomqvist and the other guy.
Oh, okay.
That are running the Le Mans. Yeah, so they are off that week.
Interesting. I guess
you could finish up Detroit and fly over to France, and then come back the next weekend for Road America. Which that is like they have like 3 weekends or 2 weekends. They have 2 weekends in a row. They don't have 3.
Yeah,
where they go to from Wisconsin to Ohio.
Our good old 4th of July race.
It's a blast. I wish they would do like a concert or something, but I'm just glad we can actually have the race.
I wish
they do a movie and fireworks that nobody cares about because they do that all at the same time that the drivers are going around to the campsites. So it's like we don't care about the movie.
Posted this on Facebook last week. Didn't do it on Twitter because I didn't see so much of it as my like own personal friends doing it on Twitter, but friends posting about the F1 race and not the IndyCar race. And I just want to I posted something to the effect of, if you like F1, why aren't you watching the IndyCar race?
Yeah.
I had one friend comment on it that he was watching the IndyCar race and he had to leave to go to a birthday party and didn't want to, had to get yelled at by his wife to get off the couch because he wanted to watch that. But
that's every weekend for me.
Yeah. So, I don't understand it. Race day tickets at Mid-Ohio are like $50, $60.
Yeah, you can get a weekend pass for like $75.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're about an hour away from the track, so a fairly doable commute, even if you're just going down every day. I mean, you don't need to go down Friday. There's not a whole lot, but I mean, Saturday is back to back to back to back, and then you got the race on Sunday. 2 years ago, when I went down for the ARCA, and at the time it was Xfinity race, we got a hotel room for like $40 in Mansfield.
Oh, that's not bad.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest hotel room ever. It was about a 1-star hotel room, but it was $40. It was a place to sleep in some air conditioning after being at the track all day. And hey, that's all we needed at the time. So,
yeah. And then even if it like F1, you have no chance of ever making it to the paddock. At races like Road America and Mid-Ohio, at least at Mid-Ohio, I know like it's not that much more to get a paddock pass, and then you're literally like right there. You're walking past these cars. Drivers are they're not walking. They're scootering past you. and sometimes you can actually stop them. Like literally last year, we were in the paddock of Mid Ohio, and Roger Penske walked up to us and started talking to my daughter, and was asking her name and stuff, and his grandson had the same name as my daughter, so it was kind of cool that Roger
Yeah.
Penske's just walking up and talking to us. And I guess that's kind of rare. I guess he doesn't just walk around talking to people a lot,
Yeah.
the public, so that was kind of cool. But literally you're just walking around. Like I saw Roman Grosjean being a parent to his children because his child was throwing a fit. I was just like, this is neat, this is real life.
Yeah, I mean the paddock and pits at Mid Ohio are great. I mean, NASCAR was iffy there. You couldn't even buy a pit pass or anything. And I mean, I got metal detected going to get my press pass and everything. So
it's like, what do you expect? I have a camera.
Yeah, that was a little weird when there's just a security guy going through your camera bag. And
so
then,
do they not give them out at the?
Well, I went to get my vest. I got my
okay.
My pass at the front gate, and then had to get my vest from up in the tower. And yeah, they checked my bag, and then the next 4 or 5 times through, they just waved me right through. So
yeah, the vest is, if you have the vest, you can't have a weapon, right?
yeah. So picks for this week.
Well, first we have to talk about how our picks did
last week. We stopped talking about the race so long ago that.
So I picked Larson and you picked Harvick, and in amazing fashion, how it seems to be, our picks are only 1 or 2 spots away from each other, and I finished 1 spot ahead of you this week, which is the first time I've beat you.
It's funny. I don't know if in the last 3 or 4 weeks that we've done this and done our fantasy, I don't know if I've had my race win pick in my fantasy lineup.
Did I actually have him in my pick? I did have him in my fantasy pick this week, and I had William Byron. So
okay. So how many points did you end up with this week?
Points for just this race, I think, were 255.
I wish it would just give us week to week, because what was your 5?
My 5 was William Byron, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, Blaney, and Larson, and then Hamlin was in my garage.
I did Hamlin, Willie B, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, and Chris Buescher in my garage. And of course, Daniel Suarez has been, was on a top 10 streak the last couple of weeks and failed me. Kyle Busch just seemed to be nowhere to be found yesterday. So,
yeah, I mean, he had the Ocon treatment. Just here, give you a double penalty.
Yeah, he just can't help himself. Once you get one, he just keeps going.
And then you had freaking, can Almirola get any kind of break this season?
Oh no, I would say Almirola the past few years has just been perpetually bad luck. He was supposed to retire this year. He's got to be regretting coming back.
He just needs to retire. He's bad luck.
Yeah, I mean, God, at this point, yeah, I would just want to go and call it a day.
He's wrecked at almost every single race this year already, right?
I don't know.
Everything.
Yeah.
He wrecked at the 500. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
He wrecked at whatever the one was after that.
California.
Yeah.
Auto Club. Fontana. The 900 names it has.
And then he wrecked last week.
Yeah.
Have they only raced 3 times? It seems like they've raced a lot
4.
more.
Last week this weekend would have been 4. This is our 5th race.
Okay.
Daytona, California, Vegas, Phoenix.
I forgot about Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, well,
So he's
and
crashed at every single race.
there again, it just goes into how long the season is.
It really is. Like when it compared to every other series.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
it's longer than F1, and F1 drags on forever.
and they're racing every week. There's only one off week in the season for NASCAR.
It's I don't understand why they need so many races. My complaint is there's too many NASCAR races, not enough IndyCar races. A 17 race season is a slap in the face.
Yeah, and I mean, especially I feel with IndyCar, they get going, they get momentum, and then it's 3 weeks off. You know, they get momentum.
That's how F1 is. They have like a 4-week summer break, which is nice because it's normally when I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like you have all this momentum, and then it's even worse if you know in the past when somebody's won the championship by then. So it's like, who cares about the rest of the season? Like,
I mean,
who's gonna get second? You know.
So you're talking that's going to be this season, correct?
Yeah, probably. Max is. Well, did we make? Yeah, we
No,
made
we're going
predictions.
Did we?
We did last week, I think. You picked Hamilton, and I picked Perez.
Okay,
No.
yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did because I had Max the week before. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was that. So that'll just lead us NASCAR.
Who do I think?
Think of who you thought did good at Daytona. I mean, well, and two, this is a being a super speedway. You can take a shot.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, you could take a shot in the dark and pretty much have decent odds.
Who did I have last week? I had Bell 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Just gonna go with Tyler Reddick.
Toyota, all right. I don't want to do this, but I kind of he hasn't had much speed. You know what? I'm gonna go with Ryan Blaney.
All right.
You know, maybe he can finally break this bad luck of just finishing top 5 in everything. The poor guy deserves to get something. Well, speaking of which, we're just going to keep going on random topics, but did you hear the Kyle Petty conversation about Ryan Blaney?
I did not. What is this?
Kyle Petty, for being I mean, he's a talented person. I do like him as a commentator and different things, but he kind of has the worst opinions sometimes. He said, I think it was last week, that Ryan Blaney is the modern day Casey Kane of having all of these expectations and never fulfilling them. Meaning that Blaney's only X years into he's X amount of years into his career and only has like 8 wins, but still has more than Kyle Petty, the son of the king, Richard Petty, with 200 wins. You know, he had some comment last year that was just like off the wall, and I don't remember what it was. And it's one of those things where it's almost like he has to say something just to remain relevant. Say something controversial just so his name's in the headlines.
Like NASCAR's Helmut Marko.
Yeah.
Just saying off the wall.
Yeah, saying something ridiculous so people on Twitter will talk about him. But all right, we'll just do one more bonus pick. Who's your winning manufacturer this week in the hypercars?
What are all the 7?
I think you have Cadillac,
That Cadillac sounds so sexy, by the way.
Yeah, it does. Cadillac, Acura, I think Peugeot. Yeah, Peugeot should have one, at least a couple.
Ooh, the French.
Are they bringing the Ferraris and Lamborghinis?
Let me look it up.
The Porsche, Toyota. So
let's see here. It's our old friend Google. Okay, come on, just give me the information.
I get.
Of course you don't.
That's the Fox one. I just had something of that up. Cadillac.
Glickenhaus?
Glickenhaus is kind of they're more of the manufacturer of the car itself. I don't know what body or what engine they run, but yeah, they're one of them.
Yeah, it looks like
I'm going with I gotta go Toyota.
Yeah, it looks like Ferrari will be there.
Yeah, okay.
Who'd you go with? Toyota?
Toyota.
Is that because it's the only other Japanese?
No, that it's just I was looking, I saw a graphic about
that's Team Penske, isn't it?
Penske's Porsche.
Oh, who's Toyota?
I think it's just Japanese teams or brands.
Okay. They weren't at Daytona, were they?
No.
No, it was just Cadillac, Porsche,
and Acura.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, those Porsches were fast in the first half of the Daytona 24. I think they both just ended up with problems through it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with... Wait, I don't see Acura on this list.
Are they...
You would think that they would be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not on that list for some reason.
Alrighty.
Yeah, because Toyota, Glickenhaus, Peugeot, Cadillac, Ferrari, Porsche, Van Wall.
Oh, maybe they're not doing it.
That would suck because they're such a pretty car.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to go with Ferrari. I'll go with Ferrari.
All right.
Because in the famous words of Sebastian Vettel, everyone's a Ferrari fan.
Oh, anything else this week? Cutting it a little short this week because nothing's going on. And
no, next week.
I don't know if you could see behind me, but the dogs are getting a little antsy.
They're like, can we go outside now?
Yeah. It's dinner time. The
you didn't feed them this time.
No, daylight savings times threw them and me off, and I just didn't have time. But yeah, anything else this week before we wrap her up?
I don't think so. We'll just be watching some racing this weekend and try to make it a little. Hopefully, the Sebring race gives us something to talk about.
Yeah,
because I doubt the Atlanta race will.
Atlanta, we could end up with a wreck fest and have plenty to talk about of what the hell did we just watch? So
it could just be a Daytona #2
or worse.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next week at 6 p.m.
Bye, guys.
Bye.